Alright, what do we got going on here? Transition over to here. Oh, authentication failure. That's a problem. Maybe that'll be better. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so what are we doing today? Working on the home lab, probably getting some stuff set up. Maybe talking through some of the stuff down in the Discord, because I know people always have questions. We had a question a little while ago about where the books are in the Discord. They're like, hey, where's the books at, right? Because we got free books that are out there. Well, the free books always are right here, right? So right at this link right here. You can always just go find the books, or you can go to prolug.org and find them off of there. So, Mad Monk, how's it going? Made it to the weekend? Yeah, the wife's out of town until, it's actually funny, she left really early this morning, flew out to Kansas. Her sister is getting her master's degree from like East Kansas University or something, and then she's flying back tomorrow. So the wife's only staying, like, she rented a car for 24 hours, and she had some kind of discount on it, so it was like $11 or something. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyway, so yeah, what are we doing here? We're just cleaning stuff up. Yeah, so the question was, where do we find the lab book? And, you know, you can find the lab books directly from the prolug.org site, and it just shows you how to get into them here. So there's all kinds of stuff going on there. What else we got? Oh yeah, just announcements about going live. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in the Discord you guys can hang out with. Most of the things I'd want to show you, if I was showing you guys that, would be the events that are coming up. There's a bunch of events. Like tomorrow there's a Bash study group. We've got our third Wireshark session. We've been working on that. I think I have that Wireshark right here. Let me save that. Cancel. I just... Here we go. So I got to add to this, so we might do that a little bit today. I think I have this all set up, so I need to get ready for tomorrow, which will be... You know what? That is not the right version of this. Here's the right version of this. So let me save this one. Let me get rid of this one. I do not want to be working on that one. That one's old. And this one is the one for upcoming. So these are the topics we're doing this next week right here. So that's what we'll be working on here in a little bit, probably. I don't know. I don't really have much of a plan tonight. I'm just going to kind of do whatever. Got one user in. Right, might be status like that. Yeah, so we can check those real quick. Those look fine. Those are also feeding out to our monitoring, so we can keep track of how many band IPs we have at any given time. That's fine right there. That's about what we expect. And let's check what else are we doing? We need to set, let's see. We got all these set correctly like we want. Let's see if we got those target nodes up. I don't know if we ever moved the target nodes over. We didn't move the target nodes over, and they're actually down over here, so I think we could probably decom the target nodes because they are turned off right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and delete these nodes. We don't need these ones physically anymore, so we can get rid of them. We have their definitions if we need them. Go ahead and delete all that crap. And this Werewolf server is up, but I think he is in his old config. Yeah, we changed him to the .26 address in case we needed to pull anything off him. I think we're pretty safe to say that this old Werewolf is done. So we're gonna, no, we're going to shut them down. Shut them down. So we're slowly decomming the old systems off. We can turn off Kafka, Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 4, and Rocky 5. We didn't have a Rocky 3 out here. So we can get rid of those guys. We had BSD going in the environment, but we don't really care about him. We'll go ahead and delete him for now. So that was that stuff. So that box is almost completely turned off now. Nagios and GitLab, we'll leave them up for a little while longer even though they're turned off. And then here we got all these autos and hammers. We can turn all them off. As well as, I'd say, the first Influx DB can go. And the first Prometheus and the old Rocky. I'm trying to think what streamers was. I don't think we need that anymore. Pop test. Open ALPR. I think those servers are all good to go away too now. So we can go ahead and start deleting those ones too. Fair enough. So we're just axing the whole home lab. We're just getting rid of all of it. Because we're moving over to the newer hardware, so some of this older stuff doesn't make any sense anymore. Okay, AWX is off, which I'm surprised he's off because we normally use that server. We do need to get a new functionality in the lab for, we do need functionality for an AWX or a tower server, but we're probably going to use a tool called NCIQ, their tools, whoops, their products. They should have solutions, port. Where's their? I need their open source stuff. They don't normally hide their. I think it's a sender. But they definitely have. Check the Ascender GitHub. Yeah, it's built on top of Ansible. It's based off the upstream project of AWX. That's what I thought. Yeah. So we need to put this on a machine as well so that we can start building tower back in for automation in the environment. And then we can start using that to kick stuff off for us. Let's see what they got for documentation for this. Alright, and we'll log in, and it'll look a lot, I imagine, like Tower. Alright, where is the... by Ascender. So is there a... Okay, it'll use K3s, okay. Let's see. Check its prereqs. It's always important. Alright, we'll be on a Rocky box. Okay. I think that looks like that should be simple enough if we want to build that. We need to have a machine to put it on though, and that's going to be some kind of stuff there. Alvamar Smith said, how deploy VLAN, something like OpenSense or pfSense. Yeah, you could do it. So here's the thing about VLANs. This was actually something that came up. There was a question earlier in the Discord on this. So let me pull up my Let me pull this up. I'll show you guys how I do it in the lab. Because I think I have a drawing that kind of shows this. So here are my two VLANs, right? These dotted lines here are my VLANs. So my primary network's over here, and it is an untagged, let's call that default VLAN or VLAN 0. It's not actually a tagged VLAN, so it doesn't really matter. But then this one is VLAN 1, right? So VLAN 1 is separate than the primary network. And the way that I do that then, the way that devices communicate between them is the C router server. So the C router server has a 192.168.11.160 address on this side, and then a static route into that through that network. And then on the other side, it's got a 192.168.200.1 address, and that allows for all those frames coming out of that interface are tagged with VLAN 1, and then only devices on the network that have VLAN 1 are going to allow them to go in. So the tagging of VLANs is done at the device. So like Auto 1 here should be on VLAN 1 right here. See how he's tagged 1 for VLAN 1? Similar to that in my other environment over here. So you go to like C router. C router exists in both lab and network right here. These two networks here. And if we go look at them up in this actual device here, one is VLAN 1, and then one is, there's just no VLAN. So NIC 0 is untagged VLAN. So that's how we make and really I should have done like VLAN 1 and VLAN 2, or VLAN 1 over here and VLAN 2. That would have been more clear for people, but it doesn't really matter that much. It doesn't really matter that much as long as the C router knows how to route between them at layer 3, because at layer 3 it doesn't care. The routing doesn't care what the VLAN underneath it is, if that kind of makes sense. But Avamar, are you going to be? I don't know who asked the question. Somebody asked in the Discord about. I can show you guys what the question was here. Homelab, and the question was basically like setting the stuff up so that the different devices can be VLAN'd off, right? And then get something on an internal network, which is not far off from what I do it, although I'm not using a class A because I don't need 16 million addresses or whatever that provides, right? So yeah, my thoughts on this look much more like this. They're a little more C router is just the name of a router or a Linux box that I have that's set up with two interfaces. That's all it is. And then it's just set with IP tables to forward VLAN, to forward traffic. The router doesn't care about the VLANs. The VLANs don't know about the router. They're totally separate. So it's just that when it sends it out that interface, it gets tagged with that VLAN. So then only the devices that are supposed to should listen to it. So that's how this part of this works. Yeah, so here's my primary networks. My networks are denoted by the dotted lines, because I have two networks that I run in my home lab. VLAN 1 and then untagged VLAN, right? VLAN 0 ostensibly, although it's not really VLAN 0, it's just untagged. All right. But yeah, that's not super difficult to set up. Hey Robodom, how's it going? Been a while since you've been in here, Robodom. I've been kind of streaming again pretty regularly the last few weeks, so glad to see you around for sure. We are just looking at, we're not even really looking at anything seriously. We were just looking at some information. So this one, somebody was asking me this, and the way I would do this here, the question was like, Scott, how would you do this? I might not do it as complex as all this, but I would maybe come over here. Just go over here out of the way somewhere. And the question was, get that out of the way. Oops. So, one host, two different interfaces, and then an internal not sure exactly what they're doing there, but So got 2 VLANs, right? And then just for simplicity's sake, we say VLAN 1. And we'll have VLAN 2, right? I mean, for simplicity's sake. And what I would do is I would make a device that is existing like a server here. And this server would be my router between these. This is what I do in my home lab. This is what I would recommend if you're not going to do physical, if you're not going to do a physical piece of hardware. And this would be, in my case, it's called C router, but Linux router, right? This box can be whatever. And then on one interface, he's going to have over here, he's going to be like a .1, I don't know. So maybe you already have a .1 in that interface. So maybe you use like a .254. And then maybe over here on the internal interface, maybe he's going to be the .1 because that'll make more sense, right? Because then he's acting like a router. And then just for us to know, we say this is external, right? And then we come over here and we say, you know, internal lab, right? This is like your internal lab section. And then this router is going to be set up with 2 things. It's going to be set up with IP, so IP tables, right, or forwarding. And then also you're going to have to turn forwarding on in sysctl. Those are the 2 places you have to typically change those kind of things. Wait, what's the question there? Hold on. Walking said, I have Proxmox. What is the lab? First time seeing this. Oh, I see. Oh, no. So somebody asked a question. So the question was, what are you seeing here? No, so somebody asked, like, how I would do this if I were going to try to VLAN traffic. And it looks like what they're trying to do. And I don't care what the rest of the IP range is. If you're doing 192.168 and giving yourself a /16, you're giving yourself 65,000 and some change hosts. That's a lot. If you need that many. If you're doing this 10 dot, you know, whatever, you're giving yourself 16 million or so. So, I mean, that's a lot. But, I mean, I'm just looking at this and I'm like, well, I mean, this is the way I do it. And then all the devices in here just get tagged VLAN to interface on, you know, on any virtual machine. So any VMs that you build in here, right? They just get a tagged VLAN 2 interface. Right, so. And then now they can't talk to anybody else except through this router here that you set as their route. So in my home lab, the way I do that, all of these every one of these nodes exists. Well, the target nodes are down right now, but all the other nodes exist in my home lab to this IP range. So they're in the 200 range, right? So their route is actually through the 192.1. So to go to 192.168.11 in any capacity goes through 192.168.200.1. So to get anything internal, they go there, and then I think they have another one called let's just look at one of them. Let's go to Rocky 1. Their gateway, so that's their route. If they need to go to 11, they go there. But their default gateway is just to go to 200.1, and then that'll send everything out anyways. So, you know, this explicitly sets that route to just that network, and then you go the same way if you want to get out to the world. So if we went to Rocky 1, right, and then we did a trace route to, let's say, the first hop should be to the 200.1 and then to 192.168.11.1 and then out to the world. So we should see, yeah, 200.1, he had to go there. Then he jumped over to my internal router, leaving my network, and then he went out, and then he went out into the world wherever, right? So it's added load on that server, but it's trivial TFTP for the most part, or trivial, not even TFTP, trivial TCP/IP traffic most of the time. So yeah, I mean, if people were really saturating that with SSH connections, maybe, but for the most part, no, not that big of a deal. So all right, well anyway, so this is that's how I would do it. And then then internal to this VLAN, you can have your own DHCP running. I use Werewolf for this, but now with your own DHCP running, this can give, you know, if you want to assign these dynamically, it looks like you're wanting to assign interfaces dynamically. Once you have a VLAN set like this, this is your, you know, traditional or your, you know, router running DHCP. That can happen over here. None of the forwarding of DHCP, flood requests or any of that stuff pass through a router. So the router doesn't forward that type of traffic. It only forwards IP and higher. So broadcasts at the MAC layer don't get forwarded. Responses at the MAC layer don't get forwarded. So those are two completely separate networks. So that's the way I do it in the Homelab, right? And I mean, that's the best way I can kind of show it, I think. And then you say, well, how do you get the VLAN tags on it? Well, if your devices can handle VLAN tags, which they can, then you can just put them on there. So if I go back over here to my, if I go to my Proxmox server, any of my servers that are in there, he's got VLAN tag 1. But Hostbox is not on, he's on 192.168.11 dot something. So he is not on, see, his network device is not VLAN tag 1. Because he is, well, whatever he is in the Homelab. I forget what he is. He's over on 205. Yeah, 11.205. So he's, and he would just hop directly out. So if I did on him, if I did trace route out to Yahoo, he'll go directly to the router as his first hop because he doesn't have to go jump through that gobbledygook to get there. He doesn't have anything in between him connecting and not allowing him out, that kind of stuff. So, yep. Yeah, so anyways, that's what's going on there. That's how I would describe that to somebody that needed to see that, I guess. What else? Oh, the wife's out of town until tomorrow, so I'm just kind of hanging out here. I don't have too much planned, but my brother came over and we had lunch. We had like a late lunch together, and then we watched. He hadn't seen the new Frankenstein yet, you know, the Guillermo del Toro one, so I made him watch that, and he liked it. It was pretty good. And then what else? Yeah, the wife will be back tomorrow. One of the guys from our Discord, who's been in our Discord for years, is coming out here tomorrow, so I'm gonna see him tomorrow. Robodom, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's without telling you anything about it, it's pretty close to the original source material, which I've read. I read it a few years ago. I mean, I've read it multiple times in my life, but I reread it a few years ago, and it's pretty close to the source. And also, it's pretty good. Yeah. It's told in 3 parts, so kind of take it for what it is. Well, there's kind of like a little tiny beginning part, and then there's the story of one guy, the story of another guy, and then kind of the closing out of the whole story. And I think it's pretty good. Yeah, his stuff's pretty good. I actually watched a thing on Hellboy on Amazon Prime, and I didn't realize he did Hellboy. I didn't realize that was a Guillermo del Toro film. And then 2, I didn't realize that the guy who made Hellboy, who was the comic for it, was good friends with Guillermo del Toro, and they worked together on Blade 2. And when Blade 2 was riding really high, that's when they got one studio to finally say, yeah, we'll make that movie for you. So I didn't realize that they had worked together on Blade 2 as well, so that's kind of funny. Lots of stuff I didn't know, even though I watched those all when I was younger. I remember watching all that stuff. But okay, so what are we doing then? Probably mostly getting back over here into Linux systems. Let's get out of Hostbox. Is that in Hostbox 2? Should have been on Hostbox 2. What's he? He's 205. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the original Hostbox is getting ready to come down too. We don't really need him up anymore. Maybe we'll make a we'll probably do some backup. We gotta make some backup stuff in the lab too. We need to, another thing we need to do with Proxmox, we need to go play with this. This is something that we don't have anybody, or I don't have this worked out yet. Hold on, let's go pull up over here. And let's go AWS. We need, oh, what do we want from AWS? We want the, let's go AWS Tape Gateway. And let's go look at this inside of, now we've looked at this before in our, let's see. I think I have, I think I can get in here. I think it's one of these addresses. Maybe not. Maybe that one. There we go. The 17th time is the charm. So tape gateways are these, they're a type of storage gateway, but you're going to put it on site, right? And I just want to see if we create a gateway, does it give us the ability to download it? So we could create a gateway. Before we do that though, let's go to AWS Calculator. And let's just look at what our pricing would be, most likely, on this. We don't need to do any signing in. We're already kind of on here. We're going to go by region, and we can go by, I'm typically in US West 2, which is Oregon. And then we're going to go down and go storage gateway. And what we're going to need to do is download a device, right? So we want tape gateway. And then we're going to say data written to tape storage by your gateway. Let's say that we're going to do about 100 gigs a month. Probably less than that. But then amount stored in virtual tape libraries, let's say 500 gigs a month. And that's if it keeps growing. What do I actually have in here? Because I'm going to move it down into storage, and it's going to be closer to 1 terabyte. So I'm going to change this over here to terabyte per month. Right. So if I put this, just go 0. If we go all the way to here and we store it down here in the virtual tape data stored out in Glacier, meaning that I can pull it back slowly, I won't be able to pull it back immediately, then I can do a terabyte a month for like $5. So I can have backup just sending stuff out of my home lab here for $5. That's pretty reasonable, I think. And then we could be S3 Glacier. We'd look at all these other things that we might want. And then amount of tape data deleted early, that's going to be 0. Now, if we were going to pull data out, right? We're not going to do that either. But we should be able to say data transfer. So inbound is always free, right? Internet. So from the internet in is always free. But let's say I needed to pull, let's just say I needed to pull some amount out. So outbound. And let's say I was going to pull out 1 terabyte for the month. That would cost me about $92, which is acceptable to me if I need to pull all of my data out. I'd rather spend the 96 or the 92 extra dollars than to 92.16 than to never see my data again, right? So that's fine. Let's go look at this. Way to get started in the cloud. Now, once we create the gateway, we need to download the server that it's going to work with. So create gateway activation, set up your gateway and connect it to AWS to activate it. We're going to do a tape gateway. Create gateway configuration, configure your activated gateway so that you can start using it. You need tape gateway. We're going to say tape backup. Our time zone is going to be Arizona. If there's an Arizona, which, well, we're mountain time, so that's fine. I'll take that. I want to be tape gateway. The platform, it's not Hyper-V, it's not Linux KVM, although we could run on a Linux KVM. Let's just call it I get away with that. Gateway. Let's look at this one. It's an OVF, so yeah, we should be able to import OVFs over here. Oops. Can I just import OVF? I wonder if I can do that even through my web. See if we can even do that. All right. Data center storage add menu. Data center storage add. Oh, if you want to pull it directly from ESXi, I see. Well, it's fine, because I can at least throw it if it's, let's see. Let's try it this way. Let's try it from NFS, because I can put it on NFS. Server export. It'll be, okay. Disk image. Okay. Well, I should be able to grab that then. Port OVF. QM import OF. Okay. We can just do that if we need to, because we have the NFS mount on it. We know exactly where it'll be. All right. That shouldn't be. That's not terrible. Okay. Yeah, I think QM set. Look at this. We can download it that way. No, that's fine. I'm not super worried about doing it that way. Okay. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Okay. That's fine. What am I missing over here? Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to see if Sandbox if share. That's fine. Okay. We could probably play with that. See what file gateway will get us. Now, file gateway acts a lot more like a NFS share, if I recall. Okay. All right. We'll mess with that later. I'm not super worried about that right now. That was just something I started to go down the rabbit hole on, and probably not that big of a deal. All right, what do I got to do though? What do I really need to do in here? We need to. Not really have a good plan. We got all this stuff set up. We've got our vaults set up, but we do need to play with the vault server a little more. Get some info out of it. Another set of servers we need to get in the home lab. We're going to set up a front end for a tool called oh, what is that called? It's not OpenHPC. It's like I can see its web page, but I can't think of its name. What is that HPC front end that people are using? Trying to think what this is. Grumpy Old Tech, how's it going? We are just hanging out. I'm trying to think of what this tool is. Oh, it's Open On Demand. That's what it is. I need to put Open On Demand in the lab too. So Open On Demand looks like this. If you guys have never seen this before, it's a pretty good little tool. A lot of colleges use it. And what it does is it allows you to basically give resources to people that are connecting in, but without having to worry about a whole bunch of other things. I mean, you can give them direct access into Jupyter Notebooks and MATLAB and all kinds of different tools. MATLAB requires a, what's it called, a license key, but we can use the free version, which is a little bit different, Octave, but it's not that much different. So MATLAB requires a license, but like doing something like Jupyter Notebooks is pretty straightforward. And then you just can give people access to using your compute with that, with like a high performance compute cluster. So I've set this up for some customers before, and it ends up working pretty good. But it is an open source tool, not super hard to get going. We just got to spend some time with it. The installation requirements are pretty beefy. I think it's got to be like 64 gigs of RAM. So that's not too terrible nowadays on server space, but it is something we'll have to look into. Where's the? It's right here at the top. Supported operating systems. Yeah. So we'll be on Rocky 10. So we'll be good there. Software bill of materials. Here's all the things that are going to go on it. Oh, look, they don't even have Rocky 10. We'll do Rocky 9 maybe. There's all the things it's going to add. And then they say you want to have at least 16 cores and 64 gigs of RAM. Now, we can easily handle that in our server. That's good. It says according to Ganglia metrics, overpowered from normal utilization. And then we average 150 megs per pun. Puns are basically each application that's running at any given time. So what does that mean? You could have about 8. Yeah, about a little under 8 per, maybe 7 per gig. So that's pretty good. Per use Nginx pun is only 4%. Our on-demand server instance serves over 600 unique users each month. Any given time has 600 to 1,000 pun processes running. Yeah. So This is the OSC one, right? That's one of the Ohio supercomputer. They're one of the main contributors to this project. No IE support. That's true for most things. Installation for this is pretty straightforward. And then what we need to do, I had set this up before on the other boxes that I was never going to run it forever on. And the main problem was we didn't have the single sign-on setup, or it doesn't even have to be single sign-on. You just have to have an authentication solution. And we just need to set something up in the home lab for that. So we could do shibboleth or whatever we want. And we could also do keycloak if we wanted to as well. Never seen NFS access before. This is interesting. That's interesting. That's a very specific one, so we won't use that. And then there's insecure options. That's funny. Yeah. We just gotta get that installed. But I don't really want to do that right now either, so. Hey, how's it going, Hack the Planet? Yeah, I'm not working too hard right now. I'm just kind of hanging out and wanted to hop on for a little bit on a Sunday. Friday afternoon. Man, feels like Sunday already. No, Friday afternoon. The wife's out of town, so like, I'm like just sitting at home by myself pretty much. My brother Tom was over for a little bit, and then he bounced. So I'm just kind of looking for something to do, but I don't really have anything set that I want to dig in on. So that's kind of looking around like for low-hanging fruit right now, looking for something to do. Although I do have a lot of stuff I need to do. Like I need to get in and finish these labs up, building labs out for everybody. I need to. Oh shoot. I don't know. Got all kinds of stuff I need to do. But I don't really have anything I want to do. But I kind of need to do. Let's check this. We still got one user in. That's good. We fixed this the other day, in case you guys just had missed this. We fixed the Sandbox. So in the Sandbox, this now reports out the way we want for any lab check each day. It tells us which servers, how many servers exist. Now you only need one at a time for anybody that connects in, so you only see the one that you connect to. But those are the nodes that we have right now available. Nothing's unreachable, and Rocky was rebooted in the last 24 hours. And that makes sense because I was rebooting the servers the other day. So that's good. All right. So what do we then need to do? I don't think this one can get in there. Yeah. I don't think I ever set. Yeah, this is the only one that has it in there. But I think I have to go in there as my user. Yeah. What is Vault? 8200, okay. So Vault is 8200, and it is running. So we have that. We know that we can connect to it, but it's only listening locally right now, and that's fine. I think we have a Yeah, we have this set here. We'll change this to listen to everybody here soon. We'll change that to everybody because we set this just for this for now, and that's fine. While we're doing the setup, we can do that, but eventually that'll have to change over. I mean, I guess we could do it now. What that'll do, this is what this will net us. I'll show you guys right here. So let's just VI this. Let's change this to this. Oh, maybe I can't do that. They might want, whoops. Might want that. All right, well. Now it's listening to any, yeah. So we should be able to go out, so. And we should be able to say NC-VZ to 192.168.2.29 on port 8200. And oh, it's V. No, that should go. Let's try that connection. No route, huh? Alright, well, let's try from over here. Yeah, he can't get in there either, so. Nope, he doesn't have telnet. We definitely have 8200 listening to anybody. Where are our vault commands? I know we had our vault commands. Don't like it when it doesn't keep all my history. It's always a hassle. It's always a hassle when I can't find them. All right, so where were... Interesting. So I wonder if that breaks. Hmm. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. I don't know why. Because that was working. Bad certificate, but he definitely has. Well, you should be able to read those. And he's definitely the user. He definitely owns that. And he owns that. Hmm. I'll have to go dig into that. King Buns, how's it going? Are you driving right now? What are you doing? You should be up at the Grand Canyon somewhere, right? You're traveling soon. I was the wife is out in East Kansas. She'll be back tomorrow though. She only flew out for like she's basically gone for. I think the full rental car time is 24 hours, and then she got the rental car for $11, which I think is hilarious. I guess she had been using Enterprise for a while, and they were like, "Oh yeah, here's a credit. You could just have our car for a day," and it was like $11. She basically just flipped them a nickel, and that was it. Probably less than dinner was for, you know. That's kind of funny. No, Robodom, we're gonna hit the 50th state in July. She wants to go. We've got that all. We've already paid for it and all. It's like all these. It's a man. I've never been on a cruise, but I'll tell you, some of those cruises are flipping expensive. So, like on the order of like ours. So we're bringing the kids and the grandkid with us too. So, the trip is already pretty close to 20K. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. That's just for 5 of us. And the grandkid doesn't even take up that much space. We just put him in one of the pieces of luggage, you know. No, he's not. He's not that little. All right, what were we doing here? Yeah, I broke Vault, so that's no good. I'll get that working again too. I just don't really have an agenda right now, guys. I don't really have anything going on. Doing a cruise in November with the parents. Nice. The wife's birthday is actually in November, so the plan going in July is if anything goes wrong, if the cruise gets canceled, if we don't make it to Alaska, we still have like a couple months to fly up to Alaska. So she'll make it to Alaska one way or another. That's her 50th state she has to hit all 50 before she turns 50. So that's her goal. She thought of it. It's super funny because like I distinctly remember we were standing right over there, just off to the side of the camera here in my office, looking at a map on the wall, and we were counting up all the states that we had been to. This was a few years back. And she goes, "Oh yeah, she had 30 something at the time, and I had like high 30s and she had like low 30s. And she's like, "Oh, I should try to hit all of them before I turn 50." And I said, "Do it." Whatever. And then we were having this conversation the other day, and she's just like, "No, I don't remember that conversation." And I'm like, she's like, "No, I had that goal before we were married." And I'm like, I'm 100% positive that we were here in this house when we had that conversation. And then suddenly she gets a case of amnesia. And I'm like, "You don't forget anything." Not when it comes to things that I say. Anyways, she definitely forgot that though, because that's definitely how that happened. And my memory is definitely not suspect on it. But yeah, the wife. Oh, the wife. But anyways, yeah, she's out there with her sister's getting her master's degree, and they do a thing called a hooding. So she was already hooded a few hours ago, and then I think they do their promotion tomorrow or something. I don't know. Well, it's got to be pretty early because then she's getting back to the airport. So yeah. Yeah. Robodom, you haven't even been around much, so that's yeah, it's always good when Robodom pops in. All right, yeah, I gotta do something. I can't just sit here and just whittle away doing nothing. We could. I got nothing. I mean, the lab's working, monitoring's working like we want. Yeah, I mean, I made it a little small so we could see everything, right? It doesn't work too good like this, right? It's off the screen, so that one's not terrible. That one could be up a little bit too. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But we just want to see that all the systems are up, and I could probably find the one that somebody's using because somebody's using one of the boxes. Let's see who's on what. We definitely. Somebody's definitely connected to something. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Oh, we don't have the test servers in here. Oh, what is their names? List. Test environment Rocky 1. Let's go put them in here. Go 2. Jeez. Not what I wanted to do. V3. There we go. Now let's try this. Somebody is in. Somebody's down in test environment 2. Which is fine. You know, I mean, look, this is what the labs are for. But people are down there. We can go watch what they're doing, but I'm not really super worried about it. Also, yeah, they're not doing nothing. Nothing too crazy. Kind of a long session, but that's fine. Not worried about it. As long as people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, Robodom, it got to 100 here today. In fact, I can go check. Wait, what's the temperature right now in Phoenix? It is. That's cooling off. It's 98. Excessive heat warning. I've been drinking so much water. But all right. Yeah, that's a problem. I always need an agenda, or I won't get anything done. We could pull up our notes. This is what we have been doing in the home lab, right? This was as we started moving things over, because we started moving all the Werewolf over back in April on the 11th. And then we just kept adding more and more things. We've moved almost all the systems out of the lab. In fact, all the lab systems that people externally connect to are now over on Proxmox. So nothing, like this XCP-NG environment, it's actually getting to where it's not all going to fit on one yet, but it's getting a lot shorter. I mean, this one is almost empty now. This one just has InfluxDB2 on it, so we can work on moving him off. In fact, we're not really using any dashboards for InfluxDB right now, so we could just kill him. Could just kill him and move his partition over. Let's see what his. Let's go over here. See what that box is doing. InfluxDB2. So he's one of the last Ubuntu boxes. We were building Ubuntu boxes for a while there. He's still on that. Oh man. Wait a minute. Is his what? Is he not even... Well, that'll do it every time. If you've used everything in his root directory. All right, we're turning him off. You have failed us for the last time. Boom. Server down. He's down. We didn't make the message of the day on the boxes. That might be a good one to do. That would be a fun one to fix up. Yeah, we could do that. Let's. I'll show you guys how we build those for people that haven't seen it before. That'll be a good one. That was a thing that I had kind of left hanging the other day. So, overlay list, and here's the different nodes and the different things that are available. Robodon, thanks for the gifting of a tier 1 to King Buns. Now he doesn't have to watch commercials. Also, I think King Buns is sitting somewhere in a. He's traveling right now, so he's kind of on his travel around the U.S. But he'll be in town. We'll get some pictures. We'll put some pictures up in Discord if he wants. And we'll get on the drift trikes and stuff. And I bought 2 new drift trikes, so now I got 6 of them. So we can go ride the drift trikes around the neighborhood a little bit. That's always fun. Can't do it in the heat though. You gotta wait till the sun starts to set. Oh, what was I doing? Yeah, let's do this real quick. So let's do. We'll build the message of the days. I've never tried to do a wild card in the overlays. I wonder if the overlays have a certain wild card that can get. Let's see if there's something that works with the overlays if for host names. I don't know if there is one, but let's see. Let's see what. I know about this, right? We know how this works. Hold on. We know the basics of it. What I want to know is, can I have it do something based on? We can show with the render. Sure. I mean, we could do. We can make it do a decision too. Yeah. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way to set that. The way I had done it before was in the image. But we only have one image now for all of them, so we have to do it down in the overlay somewhere. Oh, you're in the Prescott Valley? That's not very far away. Yeah. Prescott's not too far. Or Prescott. People say it like that up there. What am I trying to do here? Let's go look this way. Let's VI Etsy Werewolf nodes. And here's our defaults. Oh, nice. 3D Prema, thanks for the Prime. You can use your Prime anywhere, and you used it here, so I appreciate that. What I'm trying to think of, so we could obviously just do an Etsy MOTD, right? And we could just push it, and we could have a different system overlay. But most of our stuff comes from default, right? And then I don't have different profiles for each of the different types of nodes, although I could do that. So. Right, so profile list, here's the default one, right? And then what we can do is we should be able to copy, configure node profile properties. We should be able to add a new node profile, but I think we can copy them. Edit node with an editor. Okay. Excuse me. Let's just call one of these auto. Okay, so now we see auto, and then we could probably give that a comment. But let's go look at what that did in our nodes.conf. So now, So auto is just sitting there empty, right? So let's do this real quick. Let's say set number, right? And we're going to go from 4 to 51. So that should be what? 47? Let's hit P right here. And we're going to take these two guys off. This profile is 4 auto nodes. And all of these things are going to be the same here, all the way down to default, right? Everything's going to be the same, except we're going to add one new system overlay, which doesn't exist yet, but we're going to make him. And we're going to call it auto MOTD. Okay, so let's do WCTL overlay list overlay create auto MOTD, right? And then we're going to do some of the same commands we did the other day. So let's do history grep for overlay. So we'll just steal some of the commands we did the other day, right? So when we want to add a directory in there, we're going to do this command, wwctl overlay make dir, and then in the directory that we want. But actually, we don't even have to do that because the directory is already there. We just need to make a file in there. So I don't even know how we just make a file. Let's go see if we figure that out. Overlay create. Oops. Create initialize. Edit or create a file. So let's say overlay edit. And we'll go auto MOTD, and then we need etc MOTD, right? Let's see if this will work. Okay, and now our MOTD, we got to go make it. So we don't know what it looks like yet. So we're going to go out to this guy's got this really cool ASCII art generator. I love his stuff, so I'm going to link it to you guys. Hold on real quick. Hold on. Here we go. So I love this. So we're going to go right here, and we're going to make him generate our cool ASCII art that we want for this. And we're going to say auto, and then we're going to say test all of them. We just want to see all the things that you'll do for us. And we'll take, this is the one we've normally done, something like this. Let's see what other cool ones they got. Let's see. That's not a bad one, but you got to remember, people are going to be looking at this on different screens, so I don't like it to get too crazy. But it could be a little crazy. Like that's a little wild for auto. Let's see if we can get that one's not bad, because I wanted to get the point across. That one's not bad. Ogre is one that I use a lot. Ogre is the one that our Rocky servers used to be based on, right? But yeah, we're just gonna steal, right? Well, I mean, he's got a generator out there for you guys to use, but standard's not bad. That's not bad, little ASCII art. This one's not bad. Star Wars, Sub-Zero. Some of these remind me of if you guys ever played Excite Bike when you were kids. I think there's a new version of Excite Bike out because I know people that still play it. That's not bad looking because it's like 3D. Some of these are a little hard to look at. Let's not go too crazy. That one's not bad, but who knows what it'll look like on other colors. Let's go with, oh man, that one looks like, I always loved Strong Bad's quote, did the quadratic formula explode? That one's not bad either, really, but that's not bears. No, those are terrible. We're about halfway down. We want it to be readable at pretty much any. It's not bad. At any size within reason. Obviously, if people do something too small, I got no problem with bears. I didn't want. They were like little Care Bears, and that was a little too small. A little too small for me. I mean, I want it to be like legible for people. Honestly, Ogre might be the best one for this, but I think the one we originally had for auto was this one right here. I'm pretty sure this is what we were using auto for before. So anyways, if we want to grab it, we can just copy it, and then we can just dump it in there. Let's just see how this works. Let's just take this real quick, and then we'll clear up wwctl overlay list auto mod motd-a, and now it should have that, right? And then now that is set for those nodes. So if I do a wwctl node list -a for auto 1, he should have over here, we do not see it yet. We don't see that configuration yet. I don't see that here. So we need to ctl node, we need to do configure all. Let that run. And now, do I see auto in there? I still don't see it in there. Let's do wcta overlay build all the overlays. Auto 1. He's still not seeing. Oh, he's still set to the. That's my fault, guys. He's still set to the default profile. Do you see that? So I need to say wctl node edit auto 1. Maybe profile auto. I don't know how that is. Set profile. I don't know how to do that. But it's a node set. Oh, it's a node set command. That's my fault. Profile equals auto. There we go. Wait, node list. Auto 1. And now he's got auto MOTD. Overlay build. And then it won't be there yet, right? Because we got to reboot him. Once he comes back up, he should pull that overlay now. So, if that works, it should be good. Oh, that's funny. King Bun said, apparently a snowstorm hit Denver this week and half my tree fell in my yard. Nice. Yeah, King, you've been gone for a couple weeks, right? You've been out of town. That'll do it every time. This should be coming back up right now. Yep, there he is. There he is. There's his profile. So now all we gotta do is remember the steps for how we did that. Oh, geez. Right, and then make that for all of our different ones. So we have to set a few other profiles. So set auto profile 1. So auto, we should be able to do 2 through. Wait, no, they go like this. That's weird in Werewolf. It should go like that. And it says, do you want to modify these? Now those guys, oops. Let's go profiles. So they're set to auto now. So when those four four reboot, they'll come up with the right config now. Let's do the same thing then real quick for each of the other nodes. So we have to overlay create, and we will do, we'll do a hammer. You know, we should be able to do it. Simpler than we did. Like, I shouldn't have to do. I guess it's probably easier because they don't have a copy. Yeah, they don't have a profile copy. Set profile. Yeah, so the easiest way to do that is just copy it in Werewolf. So okay, in the node config. So we'll do that, and we'll create a Rocky. Yeah, that's fine. That'll work. And then let's go vi etc werewolf nodes conf, and we're gonna go like this. Set number, and then we need everything from 2 down to 50. So that should be 48, right? We'll say y48y, and we're going to hit P right here. And now we're going to change this auto to, what are we going to change this auto to? Hammer. This profile is for hammer nodes. And then auto is going to be hammer. Right? Come down here. Let's make sure that we didn't miscount. Yep, here's our auto one. Mount op should be all the way down to the bottom. Should be the last thing. Oh, spec werewolf lab work. Apparently I may be dumb. Do YY and P. Okay, spec, yeah, lab work, spec, lab work. Did we do that right before too? Oh my gosh, we did not. You guys gotta stop me. You guys gotta stop me sometimes. All right. Now we gotta go check, see if those ones are all broken. Because I suspect they're all broken, only at the end though. All right. Let's go check. Oh. Dash A? Oh, yeah, there we go. SH to auto 1. F-H. Oh, they're all there. Okay, well, that's silly. Let's exit. Let's Ansible auto dash M shell dash A uptime. Just check them all real quick. Okay, reboot. Right. Just build real quick. Okay, reboot them all. Okay. Yeah, there's erroring because they're down. Now, we've got those correct for... So we need to do 49. Because apparently I can't count. Okay, so now this will change from hammer to Rocky. Change from hammer to Rocky. This will be Rocky. And then this will be... Everything else is good. Hammer. Hammer. Auto. Auto. That's fine. Configure it all. Let's go set our control. We can do Control Shift R for over. Oh, Control Shift R. If I could get my hand in the right place. Overlay, and Control Shift R to go back for edit. And we are going to do hammer to edit his etcmotd. And this one for hammer will be. What do we want to do for hammer? It's got to be a little different. We did last time we did Doom for one of them. Whoops. Down here, Control F. Doom. We liked the Doom one. I think we did that one for Hammer before. So we can just copy it all. Boom. That's what his message will look like. No. Don't do that. Gotta leave the top on. Alright. We need to edit the Rocky MOTD with parents. And what are we going to make Rocky look like? Test. Rocky had been Ogre originally, so if you guys want to see Ogre, that's what it looked like for that. Although I feel like that's not exactly what it was, but pretty sure we had Ogre on one of them. So that one looks okay. Of an actual hammer. That would be... I kind of like these bracket letters, but I don't know if everybody would like those. Let's go with... yeah. Some of those are just a little too... Like these ones, some of these are just a little too silly for me. Doom, I like Doom though. I think that's a decent little... Let's do that one. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Doom's cool. We'll take Doom. Okay. Now we need to do the set. So this was our node set, and we're going to do hammer. 1 to 5 to profile hammer. Like that. Yes. And then we're going to set Rocky to Rocky. Right? And then yes. And then we're going to overlay build. And they should all be set. So now we're going to do this. We're going to say www.ctl node list -a grep -I for profiles. Because then it'll only show the profiles. Auto hammer Rocky. And then we're going to say Ansible hammer -m shell -a uptime. Reboot. Just for fun. And then we'll say Rocky. Wait, shoot. No, nobody's on any of these. Yeah. We can go over here and we can see the only person that's in is in test 2. So rebooting these won't affect any of them. So we'll do that real quick. Ah, wait, he doesn't have all of them configured because I added all those other ones back. So let's do that. This is going to fail on 2 of them, but the other 3 will get hit. Yep, there they go. So 3, 4, and 5 got hit. Good. That's fine. And then clear. And then when we're ready, we're going to say... we could do this a few ways, but let's do it like this because I think this will be the most fun. We'll say... instead of doing all the servers in our environment, we're just going to say Rocky, Auto, and Hammer. And then we'll give a -a and we'll say cat etsy MOTD. Right? And, yep. And we'll sleep, I don't know, 45. Because they should be up by then. And then now we should see them on, it'll be all the different, should. I mean, unless I broke everything, which I often do. But that's how we can do it. Yeah, actually, so King Buns, when I was doing the dungeoning stuff years ago, I haven't done the dungeoning stuff for a while, but letting people connect and then do whatever they kind of wanted to in like a jailed environment. I wanted to have, so there was a really cool set of, there was a set of like ASCII art castles that somebody had that I thought were pretty cool. And I was going to have these for like the dungeon one. So like the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, but then we would change it. Yeah, look, here we go. So do we see them all as what they are? Yes, they're all correctly set. Now, I feel like Otto is kind of upstaging all the other ones with his cool block letters. So maybe we might think about changing the other ones. But no, that's okay. That works. I just want people to know what server they're in, right? Like, I think that's kind of a... Oh, Rocky 3 and 5 aren't back up yet. So they might take a second. But I don't know. I thought these were kind of fun. Get out of here. you know, having like little, they're having a little sword fight. Some of those are over the top. Look at that, that's very nice. Yeah, there's all kinds of patterns and other stuff you guys can get out there. People have made all kinds of stuff in the terminal because the terminals have been around a long time. Yeah, King Buns. I have a Vim game somewhere. I think it's over here. Who made this? Somebody sent me one a while back. It's not in there. Somebody gave me this one, and I ran it in the lab a long time ago. I don't think I even have it. I don't even know where I did it. But it's the first level of Mario, completely in, was it SED? I think it was in SED, on the command line. Yeah, somebody. It was definitely Pico that sent it to me in the Discord a long time ago. But it was, I mean, it was years back. I can't even remember anymore. I don't even know where that is. And my naming is terrible, so I never have any idea where shit is later if I can't find it. I mean, I can go do a find for it, but I literally don't even remember what the name is of it. I know I was playing with it on one of these boxes though. It shouldn't have been this one though. All right, let's try it again. Let's see if all the boxes come up clean. Hammer Rocky. Auto 5 is still down. Huh. Why is he down? That's a interesting question. Did he not? Because I mean, at this point, he must have not come up. Huh. We gotta watch him come up, because that seems like... Oh, how many did I boot at a time? 15? We did 15. Oh, we can handle 19. 20, really. That's 20. But if he comes up right... Huh? Why is he saw that he was auto 5. He did DHCP. Let's stop him. Let's turn him off, because I didn't see him reboot, so I don't know that he rebooted. The box just looks like he's hung. I mean, doesn't that just look like he's hammered? Like he's off? He's not doing anything? Reset immediately. Do not pass go. Yeah, auto 5 is not playing right. Because he should be going down. He's like stuck. Now we can regenerate him. We have all the playbooks to regenerate him if we wanted to. But I mean, he shouldn't be that busted. What's going on here? But everything else was up. Wait. Do we have... Yeah, they're all up now. 3 and 5, yeah. Just this one. And he is full on override whatever he's doing. That's what I was missing, was I wasn't hitting override. Alright, he's grabbing an IP. he should go right to his bracket, and he should pull down an image. Yeah. Yeah. He must. There. Well, wait a minute. No, that's normal. Just get some warnings with bracket. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. He's up. He should be responding now. There he is. All right. Auto 5. Firing all cylinders. So that was, if anybody was like, well, what the hell was that madness? I tell you guys all the time, if you watched me work, you'd be like, I don't know how this guy gets anything done. But this is the general steps that we did. Was we had to split out the profiles. We only had the default profile. So then what I did was I made an auto, a hammer, and a Rocky. And in each of those default profiles, we added the auto mod or message of the day for each one of those. So if we were to do auto and then grep for MOTD, right, you would see the message of the day. And then if you did hammer, you would see his message of the day. And if you look for Rocky, you'd see his message of the day. Then we just made those overlays. Right? And here they are down at the bottom. If we wanted to look at one of them, we could say, okay, show me hammer MOTD, right? And that's going to be, list that with everything. There we go. And if we wanted to, we could cat his MOTD. And then we would see what his message of the day was. So it's all we did was add. I tell you guys all the time, this stuff isn't, I mean, it can be a lot to remember, right? But over time you learn it, right, as you keep working with it. But the thing is, it's not like things are magically connected. You're just pointing one thing at another thing, and then it all ends up working. That's all we ever do in systems or in any of this stuff. If I'm trying to hit an API and the API isn't there, what was I trying to do earlier? I was trying to do something earlier, and I was trying to pull something, and like the API wasn't there. Oh, Vault 2. You guys saw me trying to hit my Vault a little while ago, and the API wasn't coming up. So it's like, it wasn't exposed properly. So then you just got to go figure out what it is, and then once everything starts flowing again, everybody's happy. That's how most all this stuff works. So, all right, King Buns, you said you're driving tomorrow. You're on the road. You're moving, getting out of the little van. Yeah, Robedom. There's definitely a method to my madness. Yeah, it's mostly wild, but then some things work as we go. Phoenix midday. Okay. I'll be around. I'll be at the house, hanging out. I think the wife gets home around. I thought she was gone for like 3 or 4 days, but then I found out this morning because she left at 3 a.m. this morning. We got up early. I've been up all day, and then she left, and then she's coming back. She only has a rental car for 24 hours, so that's kind of wild. So she'll be coming back tomorrow as well, so she'll be around. And then, yeah. I don't think I really have anything else going on here then. I'm trying to think if I need anything else. Hotel in Phoenix Saturday night. Might camp at your house in the van Sunday. Yeah, you could do it. You could stay here Saturday if you want. I mean, you don't have to go to a hotel. We got a whole. I mean, like you'll see. I got the whole downstairs, man. So if you guys don't know, I've known King Buns on here for a long time. He's been in Discord quite some time. But yeah, I'm just gonna be chilling. So it's up to you. The error related to alternative name. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Yeah, I probably just need to go figure out what was going. I might have to regenerate. Actually, I should just generate those certificates for its actual name in the network, and then I really should just set the DNS up because I already have. If I just set DNS up in the network, then that would be a non-thing because then I could just make that. So I used the X509 certs that it generated. I could just generate my own for it, and then just stamp those in there. That would be fine too. Yeah, King Buns, that's fine. Yeah, we'll put up the we've got like a whole side for the dog to play, and we won't move the freezer, but we have a giant doggy door. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she'll be fine. We had Ranger was about 120 pounds, so he was enough to handle. He was a pretty big dog, but yeah, it's not a big deal. Me and the wife love dogs. Although I think the wife, like, I suspect that she likes cats more than dogs, but we like both of them, so we're actually okay with both. So that's kind of we're fine with them. What else do we have here? Yeah, what do we got? Got the lab set up, and that's just kind of nicer. So what users would see? We should always look at things the way users would see things. So we SSH2 prolug at 127.0.0.1 in this network, and then I need to know the prolug's password. Or for you guys that come in through our jailed environment, you guys have a key. You can put keys in there. And it drops us into the jailed environment. And let's say I wanted to go to the security course. Now this should say the word hammer. Yeah, there we go, hammer. All right. We could also, well, we can get fancy with that if we wanted to, because when that template comes in, it can inherit values. So we could actually, I don't care to be this thing, but we could put the number after that too. So hammer 1, hammer 2, hammer 3. I don't want to keep that many files, because like it's not like we're just generating a number. We'd have to have the ASCII art. So I would just save them as individual files and then copy it, or I could just read it from a file like a location. But you know, I'd have to borrow somebody else for that. So yeah, King Buns, we're gonna be hanging out. I mean, we got, you see, we have. I mean, it was me. It was always me and the wife and the son, and then he's kind of doing his own thing, and then just me and the wife, and then 5-bedroom house. So it's like, got way more house than we need. So yeah, yep, lots. And then we just have, I mean, we mostly just have big parties over here when we have family over and stuff. So that's all we use the house for. And then what else do we got? What am I thinking about here? Got that go. Oh, so I'm gonna hop out of there. It'll zipper me all the way out of the environment back to the main server, and that's fine. We did that, so we're getting the lab slowly moved over. I should probably capture. Let's go like this for fun. We're gonna capture my commands out of there, because I do like to, when I take things, I say, all right, so set up an overlay to start node exporter. We did that, right? We did all that, and then we did overlays for each of the node or lab node types, right? So yeah, overlays for each of the lab node types. We ensured that MOTD was correct between each node type by using profiles. So what did we do? One, we set all of these profiles. So actually added the profiles directly to Etsy werewolf.conf, right? Oh, what? I did not say that. And then 2 was this. Maybe C router. Oh yeah, I do need to move C router over. That's true. And then I may have to look at how NF tables does that stuff, because there's no IP. You guys know this. There's no IP tables anymore. In well, actually, now that I think about it, I think you can still run IP tables in newer systems. But I mean, I really should do it with NF tables, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Can you give a tour of the new website? Took a brief look at it, but curious since I've seen the whole. Yeah. So I can do that. Yeah, that's actually good, because you've been around a while, and if you hadn't seen it before, I should show it to everybody. So we got a guy on our server, Treasure, who likes to put together cool stuff like this. So a few years back, he asked if he could put together the website, and I said, yeah, sure. We host it locally. If you guys want to see a drawing of how that works, I host it locally in Kubernetes, share it out to the world through anybody that actually comes into this web page is actually hitting AWS CloudFront. That's how that's cached. Let's turn this off. Hold on. Turn off our little go rotate here so it stops rotating. But yeah, he just redid it, and you could look at it in dark mode. You can change it to light mode. I'm not going to flash everybody's face. I know it flashes people pretty often. And then I'm just going to call you B1 because I can't read that whole name. Hopefully this stuff's useful to you. But what happened, so then if you go home, this is the home page. And what he did was he asked people to opt in. So this is only for people who want to be displayed on the front page. Not everybody. I mean, we probably had about 40 people get certificates over the years, over the last few years. Probably had like 40 people. But people that wanted to opt in could show up here. So if you keep refreshing this, it'll go from him to Trevor. And people obviously use their real names because obviously if you're going to get a job, you need to use your real name. You can't just be like, hey, I'm Het Tanis, and people will be like, yeah, I don't know what that means, right? So it shows up as whatever. So I'm on here, other people are on here, right? Here's me. And then if you go to look at the certificate, it'll pop up with the certificate and when I did the course and then whatever I was doing. Then he made them special for me. Everybody else gets generated compared to the course, but he made this course so all of them that are for me. So it's actually funny. I kind of got like a, they were giving me crap in the server about patting myself on the back or whatever. Now, the other things on here is we've got the Linux automation, the Linux security engineering, and the Linux administration courses out there. These are free. You can go here and it'll jump you down to them. And then there's course books that are also free with these. And like if you went to the Linux automation course, here's that. It's only up, actually, I've published all of the work for it, but I need to do the labs for 11 through 16, and then I think the guys will finish the book. But again, the guys in the Discord, they built all this with Markdown. It's pretty nice. You can go to any of the lab pages. You can do any of the stuff. But this is just a GitHub little thing. And if you want to learn how to build little books like that out of your own GitHub notes, they'll show you how to do it. I've seen them do it. They basically, they made fun of me for patting myself on the back, although I didn't build the web page. So that's kind of funny. They're certify, and then so you can certify, and it tells you how you would do that. This actually needs to get updated a little bit because we're at 40. So in 2026, we're at 4,800. We're almost at 4,900 members. So I'm hoping we hit, if we keep just kind of growing like we have been, we should hit 5,000 before August. August is our we have a big event where we just get everybody down there and all these different kind of subject matter experts come in and talk about Linux and talk about different areas of technology. I've got some AI guys coming. I tried to get one of my buddies is, he runs a company that does mostly like synthetic aperture radar, and they read for change detection of stuff. But he's super busy because he's the president of his company now, so he's not going to probably be back. But he's trying to get some of his guys to come talk to us. And at the end of the day, I think, honestly, and he's probably one of the most technical engineers I've ever met. He's moved up into management, so being a president. So like I think you guys would rather his engineers come and talk cool engineering stuff. But he's also, we have a couple of AI specialists, Robodom, for sure. Sending Grounds is coming, and he's going to talk about being a systems engineer and then doing that with AI. And then one of my buddies who is he's come and talked to us a few times, he's a PhD in economics, but he's a chief information officer for AI development. So he does AI stuff all the time. So that guy's pretty sharp. But anyways, there's this. And then if you come to verify, if you know a certificate, by the way, you can find a certificate. Watch, I'll show you. You could go to like one of these guys and you can go grab, here's their certificate right here. We're not super clever with how we did certificates. It is actually really clever the way Treasure did it. It's really smart. But you can actually drop that in there and it'll take you right to the certificate. The reason that's important, the reason that those hashes are always like that, is because he can put that on the end of the web page like that, and he can put that in his if he says, hey, I have this certificate but I don't have any other ones, he can put that directly in his resume. When they click on it, it takes them to this little page that says that they did it. So that's kind of cool. We wanted something that wasn't easy to compromise, so like nobody else could say that they had done our stuff. Hold on, the wife wants to video call me. Hold on, I gotta tell her I'm streaming. I'll tell her 15 minutes I can get on one. All right. So the reason he did, he put this is actually funny, King Buns. I don't know exactly why he did it, but he wanted everybody to have like their name, the date built in, and then he wanted to use like emoji characters. Yeah, like that's why I was looking for mine, because mine's something stupid. They're all something stupid. They're all auto generated, but mine is hold on. If it comes back around to me, hold on. We'll keep hitting that there. Oh, it was me for a second. There. Hold on. Mine is something stupid too. Oh, mine's like a little duck or something. Maybe that is a chicken. Yeah. So then, yeah, if I ever put that in anywhere, whoops, the whole thing. Yeah. Then that'll be there. Yeah, but that is like a little duck or whatever. I think he had some other ones too, though. Maybe I got to go look around for the other guys. But anyways, yeah, this is all. He wrote it all in. It's all Go, and then if anybody ever needs it, like if you're like, oh, I just want to see how the website's built, it is. Oops. So on the Scott user website, here's the way we do this is we typically pull down from the professional Linux users group pls.get. So we just pull it down and then we rebuild the website. That's what we do every time. So, oh, there's Trevor there. Yeah, it's new emoji for each cohort. Oh, that's funny. So King Buns, he said it's a new emoji for each cohort. So some of them got like the little duck. Some of them are getting other ones. Oh, one of the guys has a squid emoji. Oh, that's funny. Hold on. Let me go find him. Let me see if he... Here. Yeah. Little squid emoji. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I didn't realize they were... I knew there were different ones, but I didn't realize what they were. So that's funny. So it's unique per group. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. That's Treasure's own little touch on it, so I like that. So Trevor, if you missed it, over on the Twitch side, King Bun said, "Hey, will you walk people through the Discord or through the new page a little bit?" And I said, "Yeah, let's go back in with HTML, vanilla, CSS, vanilla, JS running in a Podman container." Yeah. Our deployment looks like this. This is the way I normally deploy it. For people that haven't seen it. This is our, oh, where the heck is it? This is our little architecture for the home lab right here. So people come in, Cox blocks my internet on port 80, so I can't just expose port 80 out to the web, won't let me. And I don't want, and if any of you have dealt with anything with web, if you tell people to do a different port, it's just not great with different browsers and stuff. So instead, AWS CloudFront serves our page out on port 80. So with that, we have a little bit of a caching timing issue here, and we have some scripts that run called keep warm that just kind of keep that live. But then all of the stuff that he gives me is down here in our Kubernetes cluster, and then there's a service that's pointed to whatever deployment we are here. And then in this case, we're back just on port 9090. I didn't do V2 last time. I just ran it. I don't always switch between the red and the blue and the green like I should really. In fact, last time I just blew the old one away and then put the new one up. But in a real world scenario, we would just flip this over once both of them were running next to each other. I just didn't do it last time. And each emoji is a long string of Unicode characters. Nice. Yeah. And then this is the actual. These are the actual steps I do to deploy it. Right. Pull it down. I move the old one off. So I move the old PLS directory into archive old PLS version, whatever version I want. Download the new Git repository and it'll go into PLS. And then I typically go down in there and do, I should have in here like a CD to PLS, right? Because you get a PLS directory. Podman build-t PLS and it'll build it. And then I go and I tag it and I push it up to this local host that we have. And then we run the new file and go redeploy it. King Bunch said, I just used a new AWS ECS Express Mode stuff that replaced App Runner for my latest project at my company, making a Shopify integration for our designer. Nice. I have not. I have a what is that thing called? Fourth wall? I have like a little fourth wall. I have I need to get in there. Like, I'm not a great graphic designer, but I have some cool little ideas for like shirts. And we have the one shirt that people like is Linux is the way, and that's kind of cool. That's actually the name of the site too. What is that? It's like this. I think it's that, right? Is that not right? Maybe I'm spelling that wrong. Oh, no, it's do all the Linux. Yeah. I have Linux is the way as well, but I just don't have that point over. This is the shirt that I think most people like. Linux is the way. But I have a couple ideas, and then I have like the little Adobe Creative Cloud because I get it for like $20 a month right now. So I'm like, shoot, I'll just mess with that a little bit. I just haven't gotten around to messing with it anymore. Oh, I need to finish my Werewolf, my little write-up of my notes. So then we created the overlays. So overlay create. So that, and then it was Rocky. We don't care the order. And auto. Right, we did that. Oh, once we created those, we needed to, let's change this around a little bit. We had to wctl configure all. You got to do that. And then we went to 4 would have been create all the MOTD for each of the overlays. And that command would have looked like this. It was to edit it with the parents. And then it was the same thing, hammer, Rocky. Auto. Okay. And then the last thing we had to do was you had to overlay build. Oh, we did have to set the nodes to have the proper profiles. That one was pretty straightforward. Oh yeah. You're an Adobe Commerce store at heart, nice. And then King Buns, you're still not used to the West Coast. Yeah. It's it's 7:56 here for me, so it's almost 8. But I have been up since 2:30 this morning. 2:15. When the wife was getting ready for going to the airport, I was just up. Let's set them all like this. So hammer to hammer, Rocky to Rocky. What did I do the other one? Oh, that's fine. Do it like that. Boom. We can always cheat. And then auto. So that's basically what we did in the environment. Then the last one that you probably saw me do like 20 times and you're like, this guy's a madman. The main one that really has to happen, things don't work right. Build. And you can just overlay build for all overlays at once. You could do that whenever you want. But this one does all overlays. And basically, when you're doing overlay work, when you're doing anything in Werewolf, you are working on a like offline copy. And then when you say build, or even when you build an image, that's when it pushes into the slot that gets deployed. It's like everything else you're doing is like you're like those guys that like write on bombs, like hello from Kansas or whatever, and they're like writing on bombs. But then when the bomb slides down into the chute, that's the next thing to go. Well, it's the same kind of idea that like you're out here working out in an outside like a staging area, and then when you hit go, or when you hit, in this case, build, or when you build an image or an overlay, then it slides down into the slot. No changes are taken until then. It's the same thing with when you're in cherooted environments. You always have to do a build afterwards. So yeah, that's what we did for all the different node types for the Werewolf. So that's like the whole steps for what we did in Werewolf. Then you had to reboot the boxes, but I mean that's not bad. Yeah, I've been up all day, and normally I get a nap. I was talking to my buddy Jared earlier, who he's a data architect for his company, and we talked about 8:15 in the morning. I said, "Are you done for the day?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pretty much done." I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much where I am too." Robodom, I haven't had any caffeine in 3 months. Yeah, no caffeine. None. Yeah, and if I had any, it was on accident. Yeah. It's been a wild little ride. That's just gotta do it because the doctors were telling me I gotta not drink so much anymore, and I'm like, all right, I'll stop doing it. But did we start? Oh, we did set up an overlay. This was the other day, so people. We did set this one up the other day, the node exporter, and it's interesting that the order these things take, because it's not in the order they were created. You would think it was in the order they were created. No, node exporter was a few days ago. We just made all these auto ones today, and it's not size, because size is over here, and it's not the size of them. It's not the last time they were updated, so I really don't know how this is going. But when we did the overlay for node exporter, I showed this a little bit the other day. There were two main things that we had to get in there. We had to get the node exporter service file. This file had to be copied in, and then also the target. This is a soft link, or a what we would call a symbolic link. Typically, soft link, symbolic link, pretty much the same thing. And then this points to it so that the server knows to start it as a service. And we set these up and put these in there the other day, and we got to play a little bit with how these work and how these get connected and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of good. I haven't done as much with overlays. I'm kind of traditionally I'm here doing stuff like this. This is me modifying the cherooted environment directly, right? Or the CH root, or whatever you want to call it, right? People say that both ways, but this is how I modify the image directly. And some of you guys that were on the other day saw me working in this. So, and we could harden these further. We can harden them all the way to a STIG standard if we wanted to. In fact, I think most of those. Let's go to Rocky 1. These ones have. Oh, we don't have. What do we have? I gotta check those. I thought I had them. I'm pretty sure I had them with all the extra discs in them. He's got one hard disk in him, Rocky 4. I thought I gave all the Rocky server. No hard drives. We could give them some hard drives. So for the labs, we technically need 3 hard drives for each of those. But they were only like 3 gig hard drives. They were all pretty small. We can give them that. We have the space. And that really is needed for lab 4 of the automation course, because in that lab you do some logical volume management, and you need volumes to do logical volume management, right? Kind of makes sense, I think. And then Hammer, I don't think Hammer. Oops, Hammer 1. I don't think he has them yet, because he doesn't actually need them for the most part. Yeah, that's fine. As we've moved to the new environment, I've been trying to keep it as much the same as it was, although we did get updated Rocky images, so that's nice. And then, I got a question the other day. They're like, did you fix the copy fail message? And then, the copy fail was from last week. And then just yesterday we got hit with, what was it called? It's called like Dirty Trace or something. I don't know if you guys saw this. People were putting in the security channel. Where is it? I think it's right here. Security topics. Copy fail 2. But I thought there was another name. I thought there was another one too. But anyway, somebody said, "Hey, have you patched that?" And I'm like, "I'm not really worried about it." And the reason is, you're getting lab environment, but you're already root, so there's no reason to escalate to root when you're already root, right? Now, if you were dropping in as like a normal user, sure, I'd be like, "Oh gosh, I don't want him to go on his root." But the courses are all admin level work, so you're already root. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it would be like if you, if you let me in the front door of your business, and then when I got in there, I'm like, haha, I broke in, and you'd be like, you're retarded, like you're a dummy. So I don't know what to tell people, but my point is, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't matter if I patch them because you guys are already root if you're getting in the environment. So, Dirty Frag, that was the new one. Yep, that sounds right. Yeah, Dirty Frag. Somebody had posted that in there. I don't know where it was exactly. Might be in general. I think it's in general because I think they said, "Are you tired of patching?" Yeah, there was Dirty Frag. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, there's been a lot of patching in our environment, and then I have to ensure. So I run like the apptainer part of our environment, and then I have to make sure those are all updated too. So that's APPTAINER. It doesn't. Whatever. I don't know why the A is silent or small. So, anyways, all right. Say it doesn't hurt. I didn't say that. What else do we got? Yeah, lab box is chilling. One of these boxes is pretty much ready to decom. Then, like if InfluxDB is down, I could pretty much decom this whole box. So now we got to look at like what's his actual storage. This is one of my boxes that had. He doesn't have as much storage on him. I think I actually got this box from M-Pesa a while back. The HUQNE. So I'll probably turn him off and then go look and see which box he is, because he may be getting rebuilt. Let's go look at his general. What type of CPUs is he? He might be one of the older boxes. Yeah, this box is definitely older. Yeah, these are my two older boxes, I think. And then this is my... What is he? He's one of my newer boxes. This guy. I'm gonna have to go look up those chips and see how old those are, because these guys all got to be decommed eventually. But if I could get one out for now, that would be pretty good. That wouldn't be terrible. All right. Well, then what's the other ones I got to do? So in the environment here, I gotta work. I've got a lab that I got an experiment I got to build for my dissertation, so I'll be doing that a little bit too. That'll be a separate environment. I might even put that in its own VLAN just for its own little security. But I'll be doing that here the next few days. I might even do that this weekend, since I'm kind of starting the new class, and then shit, I'm supposed to be doing chapter 5, but now I got to go work on the first 4 chapters. So far behind. There's only 5 chapters though, so thankfully they can't pile any more chapters on me. But I'm definitely losing my mind working on that stuff. So, all right. Here's what we'll do. I should be back around tomorrow. Nah, I hope, Robot, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I'll be back around tomorrow. We'll keep working on this stuff. But yeah, we have lots of lab. So basically, one of the things I really wanted to emphasize is we have a lot of lab capacity. So if people want to get in there, I mean, I was even showing this earlier. Whoops. We don't have very many people. I mean, at any given time, we typically only have... Yeah, there's nobody on any of the lab servers now. So I didn't kick anybody off either. They should have been on one of those other ones. But that's fine. But yeah, there's nobody on them right now. We have 18 nodes for that. So... but it does only allow one person to connect into each one, so that's kind of a nice, you got nice separation. Then when you're done, you just reboot the lab and it'll zipper you back out of the environment. So, all right, we'll probably call it here then. But yeah, if anybody needs me, just ping me down in Discord. People ping me anyways, so you might as well just ping me down there, and I will typically be around. Main thing to remember, we do have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow, so Bash study group and Wireshark. So Wireshark's going tomorrow at 3 p.m. So, all right. I will see you guys later. And, yeah, I will talk to some of you guys later on in the week. Take care.